Morning. Um, since I lost a whole bunch of footage at the beginning of this video, what I'm going to show you today is where we started with this 70s G3 Restomod monster. And where we started was a hodgepodge. It was a homemade body, and but it had all these glorious G3 and grabber parts on it from the 70s, and they were factory parts. But what we started with was this very thick, right? This body weighs more. Just this body, even though it's a smaller dimension, it weighs more than the entire base does since it's been built. Uh, what's going on here is a homemade body. You can see it. It's been chiseled out with like a butter knife or something. Uh, Somebody had routed. There are some professional routes in here. So maybe this started life as a copy or something. But it was definitely like, look at that route. Look at that bridge pickup route. That's done with like a butter knife or something. That is horrible. And the body is just so thick and so heavy. It appears to be a 5-piece body, and it weighs considerably. It is not plywood. It is something solid. It might be ash or alder. So this might be like a Japanese or a Taiwanese copy that was bastardized. You can see the upper horn, or the upper bow, or the upper base of the body was shorn off, where that contour was in the Gibson body. If there was a contour in this, it was shorn off. You could see that because this had the original uh, string through body construction, but you could see how the body had been altered. So this is, but we didn't have that original pancake bridge, that original sheet metal string through bridge. It had something else on it, and you can also see where apparently, just like Gibson, it had some sort of what they call the metal mesh. There was always some kind of, the Gibson put a metal shim, like a screen, like a piece of window screen, in the neck pockets to raise them up to make them play better. And this appeared to have that original. So when they took these original Gibson parts and put them on this body, things worked. I mean, this was a functioning bass, but it was not what my customer wanted. My customer wanted a G3. And he was buying a G3, but he got it at an extremely reduced cost because of this body. Like, there's also parts of this body, like, that don't make any sense. I don't know if we could catch it here in the light. There's doweled holes all the way around this body. Doweled holes, filled doweled holes. And there's many of them all the way around this body. And it looked like it was, I don't know, maybe it was mounted to a wall or something. But this body is extremely heavy. I mean, this body alone, just this body alone, weighs like 7 pounds. and it's just too much. So the owner wanted it scrapped. So away it went. And then we started working on this with the Epiphone reissue body, and that presented more challenges in and of itself. And now we're at this point. We are a complete bass. It looks fantastic. It's going to play fantastic. So sit back and enjoy this video. We're going to start from when we got this body, when we got this Epiphone body. And that's where we start. That's where my footage starts. I had other footage, but it went away. I didn't think this project was going to go much further than dismantling that hodgepodge of a bass. And I should have kept the footage, but I didn't. So we start at the point where we get this Epiphone body, and the owner says, let's make all the Gibson parts fit the Epiphone body. And then he said, make the Epiphone body appear patinaed and old. Not beat up, not relicked, but patinaed to match the patina of the original 70s Gibson parts that we're putting on it. And that started another whole process. And this has been a month-long process, but it's making a dream bass for my friend, and it's a fantastic bass, and I can't wait for you guys to see this video. I mean, you see me screwing up and making mistakes and learning along the way. And it was the first time me using a trim router, and I screwed that up pretty good. But it was nothing I couldn't fix. So I fixed mistakes that I made, and then I learned. And I learned how to really use, like I usually use a Dremel router. And so using the bigger router with a lot more horsepower. Yeah, it was a bigger thing going on. So making the neck pocket fit, making the body route work, making the original 3 pickups, Bill Lawrence designed pickups, fit in the body with a factory Gibson pickguard. Using the Epiphone base plate with the Gibson saddles, just because of the string spacing. It's going to be a fantastic journey. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get to it. All right, guys, we're back in the shop again on Memorial Day. What this is an ongoing project that I've been doing with my very good customer James, and he had bought a not all original, but 80% original Gibson grabber, but it had a G3 pickguard in it, and it's kind of an amalgamation of parts, but all the parts date back to like 1978, 1977, and well, the body was definitely not a Gibson. It was way too thick, and it was shaved down here, and he was going to try to redo it and do different things to it, and he decided to give up on that. And he decided to try to get an original Gibson body, and he found out that you can't get just the body alone. They want $2,000, $3,000 for. These things are kind of rare, and they're getting to be a cult favorite. So he got an Epiphone body, which is supposedly the same dimensions. And it is, body-wise, it's the same dimensions. The neck pocket's a little thinner. I think it's just the difference between a metric measurement and an English measurement, imperial. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the router and open this up a little bit, and I've measured it all out like 7-8 times here, so we make sure that we're going to hit the bridge right. I have an H bridge to go on here. We have the G3 pick guard to go in there, so we're going to have to route all that out for the 3 pickup pick guard. And but right now we're going to do the neck pocket, and we want to make this neck pocket as good as it can be, so it fits the neck very tightly. And we're going to make him his dream bass, because he wants a G3, and the G3 is going to come from this grabber neck and the G3 parts that we have, and then we're going to make it fit the Epiphone body. This is an Epiphone grabber body. It doesn't have a sliding pickup, but it has a Music Man pickup with a split. That's what Gibson's new trade-off was. It is not routed for anything underneath here except for that Music Man pickup. So I have to route it like a big swimming pool underneath there to fit all 3 Strat style single coil pickups. If you're not unfamiliar with the G3, look at the cover of Kiss Alive from 1975. Gene Simmons is playing a G3, and that'll tell you where all this comes from. And what I'm about to do is get my Dremel out and open this up, and I'm going to do it like I did the ASAT Telly a few videos ago. I'm going to do it by hand, and I just have it measured out, and I'm going to do it by hand. Hopefully I can keep my hands steady enough that I don't mess this up. So we're going to have to put the barrel in here, the barrel sander. There's the wrench I need. Ow, ow. That hurt. Oh man, that hurt. I have a lot of issues with my hands. I've recently had injections in my hands to try to alleviate a lot of these issues. And well, it's not fun. Right now I have the shakes real bad. So this is not conducive for me to do this today. I'm going to attempt some. The only way we're going to get through it is to do it. And let's get a good video on here. And let's see what this guy does. But what we're going to do is we're gonna just open up this pocket enough to fit the neck. We're going to fit the neck as we're going. So we're not going to go too far, and we're going to take very little off. And let's see if we can go. Vacuum in here. We're dead. We're out of juice. So we gotta charge the Dremel. But you can see we're getting into the pocket. We're gonna have to bring the vacuum in here. So we're gonna pause for now. I'm gonna charge the Dremel. All right, guys, here we go. First time using this router with the new bits, and it's got a bearing bit in it, and the bearing should ride. This is too long of a bit. This is too long of a bit. The bearing is not going to ride there. But the router base will ride along my straight edge here. And that's a lot of chatter. That's a lot of chatter. It's going too far. All right. Now I know what they mean by router chatter. That's a nice cut, but that's some major wood that it's taken out. And I've gone too far.
And the other thing is this guitar was made in 1976. These holes weren't drilled by a CNC machine, and they've obviously had some work done on them.
And
1976 and 2026. So
I haven't done anything I can't fix, but I need to get back in there. I gotta get in further. What, Fudge? What? What you want? Yeah, I know, I screwed up. I know, I can't mess up your business, I know. You're the face of the business. Look at the mess I'm making. Holy crap.
aluminum tubing that fits this drill bit right here. And I used to drill press the drill hole straight through this piece so that this tube.
Yeah, so this has got to come in further. This has got to come in further. And we got to use a smaller bit.
To drill a hole straight through 90 degrees to the back of the peg head, straight through my carbon fiber. Now this hole is
Yeah, I'm going in too deep.
Which is the reason I need a jig.
I'm going in too deep.
Straight and keep it centered
So
this larger hole. Because carbon fiber is incredibly strong. We already talked about this. We had to buy a special diamond bit just to
reset. Try again. Guys, I have the initial cut done with the much smaller 1/4 inch bit, and that is the final depth cut with the router. I'm not experienced with a router. I usually use a Dremel tool, and this router was given to me by my good friend Gary, and he gave me the router base, the router table part. I bought a new table, and so I'm going to be able to cut bodies and stuff out soon, but I just bought all new bits and stuff to go with this, and I'm learning. So you're learning with me. I'm learning you cannot take a full depth cut at once. No way in hell. Wood is a lot stronger than you think it is. And now I'm going to have to put the straight edge, which, yeah, I'm using my notch straight edge. Use my straight edge to gauge this. So that I just want to use it right now to put the straight edge on there and make sure I'm not messing things up here. So that's definitely where we want to be. That's definitely where we want to be. want to make sure that that is straight. And then we'll tape it down. At least we finally found a good use for this bullshit Amazon fraud tape. This stuff is worthless for painting. If you try to make a tape line with this tape like for painting, you will fail. It will bleed underneath, and it's supposed to be, you know, the best tape around for this type of thing. And yeah, we're in the right zone. Let me raise this up a bit just so I can, just for now. We have to set the depth later, but I just want to make sure we have this straight. And we want to make sure our gauge, our stop here, our fence, I guess it would be a fence, a router fence, because we don't have templates for this. This is a well, the base itself is a 1977. This is a newer body. It's from the 2000 era. But this is an Epiphone body that we're trying to fit Gibson parts to. So, because you cannot find these bodies anywhere. So I am doing my very best not to screw this up because it is pure unobtainium. And so once I get in here with this 1/4 inch bit, then I'll start to whittle out all this material here. But we have to start small. We have to start small. What I've learned. So we're going to take a few thousandths at a time. So we're going to start here and see how we do. I think this will be fine. Get it away from the initial. Wow, you're not too much. Okay, more learning experience. I'm learning that you want to move your router with the direction of the router bit. With the direction of the bit. And it definitely moves a lot easier. So let's vacuum this up. Now we know where we're going. This can all come off because we know where we're going.
The transition points a little darker. I got as close as I could. At the end of the day, I think it's awesome.
All these inner pieces can come off. And we're just going to continue on with this channel. And then we're gonna route all this material out. So thanks for joining me on this journey. It is a learning experience for me, and a learning experience for, I hope, some of you, and hopefully you don't make the same mistakes I just did. But that's all coming out, so that's not a mistake that we are regretting. So, but this is interesting. This is very interesting, and we'll go from here. We might try to chisel some of this out and then route it. I see now where the people using Forstner bits and making a ton of holes and then routing out the little bits. I think that might have been a better idea. I don't know if a drill press to stop me from going too deep, so I think we're going to chisel some of this away once it's freed. Once I get this channel completely at depth, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna pause you guys. I'm gonna continue on with this at depth, and then we'll come back when we start chiseling. Wow, okay. Talk about making a mess. We definitely need a dedicated wood room. Without a doubt. Wow. This is nuts. All right. I'm going to vacuum. I'll be back.